3, 2, 1. Well, we're back in the TBM here. I've been doing some playing around, some settings today. Just come to a couple conclusions. Get this plane fired up real quick. Yeah, we're up. All right, so we're just north of San Diego there. It looks like I landed at a military base, but that's okay. Just wanted to get up in the air. We're about ready to go. I don't know what the wind's doing. We're just going to grab a runway. Get up here and fly it off the runway by hand, and I made some interesting finds on the Brunner setup. I learning to query ChatGPT, and it's really been helpful as far as getting things set up. All the settings, the NVIDIA control panel settings, good place to go to for just the get a good starting point on settings. You know, of course, it ain't exact, but anyway, it gets you at a good starting point, and then you can just make your adjustments. Looks like I picked the right runway. Let's go this way. The main thing was with the Brunner and this particular aircraft, it's real pitchy. Of course, it uses forces instead of like a hydraulic one force constant. This uses a variable force yoke and rudder. The way I've got it set up, and it's always just been, you know, pitchy, hard to trim and all that. Well, I found out a couple things with ChatGPT's help. I took it to ChatGPT. It got me started in the right direction. Well, while I was conversing with it, it mentioned the fact that I needed to go back into the default control settings. And back when I first started using Brunner, 5+ years ago, uh, I don't know where I read it or got the idea that, it said, that it runs off the software. You don't have to do anything. Don't assign anything in the control panel. So I just never looked at it. So it said that the default sensitivity settings play a factor. And I said, I did not know that. Let me pause here and I'll show you. I'll just go to the controls real quick here. So I just had them set as default. Of course, I thought everything was done through the CLS to SIM software. So I knew they were in there. Select the yoke, and of course, I got buttons and all that programmed. But come into the sensitivity settings, and all that shows up are pitch and roll. So it suggested I come in here and play with the sensitivities here because this does still have an effect. And then what I found was if I back the sensitivity all the way out, it basically lets me run the Brunner properly. So now I have found new life in the simulator. I could take a pitchy nose right out. It's really, really impressive. It's something I stumbled into. Had no idea. And so I went in and I tuned this puppy back up into Brunner, with the forces and all that, and flew it around today, just kind of adjusting things. And I got it where, I feel really good with it. And I did it to a couple aircraft as well. Cover them in another day. So it actually handles quite well. So as I gain speed, the yoke starts coming back towards me, all on its own. A lot of right pedal on this aircraft. There's our 90, just gently read back. Here we go, toe brakes, gear up. Some cockpit light going here. Up, yaw damper. Alright, so now when I trim, it's pitchy-fied as aircraft. We'll fly up to the coast here north. So with this aircraft, you do have to put some aileron trim into it. Still got my foot on the right pedal. I've got a little bit of turbulence out on those wingtips. Gives it a nice feel. Haven't exactly got that dialed in perfect, but I can feel the wings out there. That's nice. Not overbearing. But once I get up there, cruise a little bit, it's a lot easier to trim and relax instead of having to fight the pitch. And one of the other issues was the latest NVIDIA drivers seem to be causing issues, and I see it when I come in and out of VR with my OBS on. It crashes the simulator. So I dropped back to the 566.36 driver. Of course, then, that was before you could, which was ChatGPT said was the latest or the last stable driver for the 4000 series cards. So I tried it again. The only problem is you don't, through the NVIDIA control panel, you can't get in there and bring in preset. So that was a short-lived experiment. It was a little bit blurry out there in the world. So I went back to the latest drivers to deal with the, and so I'm content for now with that. Trim out a little bit here. This will be right rudder. Relax a little bit on the rudders. Alright, we can bring off the separator. And the roll motion is the turbulence I'm feeling. Some smooth air up here a little bit, maybe. Alright, let's go 850 mode. So I'll use ChatGPT again to, verify NVIDIA control panel settings optimized, for my particular setup, what I run, and so I'm pretty happy with the graphics and the smoothness of VR. All out of whack there. Alright, let's reset rudder. Yeah, that's the turbulence. We'll deal with it. So anyway, I got it, the fluidity of the sim up where I like it for recording purposes and such. There we go. There's. I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn off this turbulence. I don't have it set proper. Just a second. Okay. Take a second for things to come back to life, and then it crashes, and we'll survive it. Okay. The more you go into the software, the more times that tries to connect, and you can really lose control of the aircraft. All right. So now we're back feeling right. in line here. Then got reset. Okay, let's get back over here over the water. Level, what do we need here? A little bit of left rudder. Okay. The roll trim. Now we'll go for 10,000 feet. So the thing to do is to be patient, because if you pull the nose up at that power setting, go ahead and push the power on up. We are in 850 mode. She'll have a tendency to slow down and drop the nose. Add power, have a tendency to bring the nose up, you got to push down. Find that balance here shortly. But the nose is just so much more controllable now. Instead of it going wherever it wants, you can pretty well make it do what you want very easily. Slowly trimming down as we can gain speed. Reaction, going the other way. To the speed that is required where it wants to run. It's still climbing a little bit. Overshot a little bit. I'm kind of out of practice. I used to have to fight it so bad. Call it good there. Let's pull the prop back. We're trim. This flies so much better, and I'm going to go back and redo all of my aircraft. On the Phoenix, you don't have to do anything because it's fly-by-wire and it takes care of all the trimming for you. There we are. So I haven't made up my mind if I like turbulence on the controls, because it just basically makes you counter everything you do. turns aren't as pitchy and bad. Just be ready for a little bit of back pressure to hold that nose up. It's not hard at all now. So used to having to pull back. Just makes it tough. Now it's so much easier. My gosh, what it did to the 737. Woo! So it works in hydraulic mode as well. We'll go ahead and use this point to get down to our 10,000 feet. Nice and smooth, crisp and clear. Makes the flight really enjoyable versus torturous. It would behave more like you would expect it to. Doing little clicks with the trims, 1, 2, and 3, and let it kind of balance out. Nice and stable. Nice. So that in turn allows me to increase the trim speed so you can dial it in just a little better. Quicker. There we go, trim flight. Just little bitty nudges. Actually, I can almost let go. So that's what's capable. If you run the Brunners and you're having trouble with a pitchy aircraft, tired of fighting it, go into the default controls and run that sensitivity back, and that stabilizes the thing. Of course, ChatGPT is kind of on the settings that you're offered in the software. It doesn't relate the name properly, so you kind of got to figure that out. And then once you query it with something, then it says, "Oh yeah, that's what it is." But it helps. I kind of like that ChatGPT doing stuff on the computer. There we go. that's how I would expect an airplane to behave with TBM up in level flight. Slight adjustments for any of the breezes. We've got about a 630 breeze at 6 knots. Nothing serious, but that's causing changes to the aircraft, but we're dialed in. We're just a pinch right rudder. Step on the ball, my bad. There we go. Hands free. Touch back. We can go down about 40 feet. Or so just keep a hand on the yoke in case we get a gust that turns us over. Love it. Let's see, what else did I do? ChatGPT to go in and set the NVIDIA control panel. I used it to assist in dialing in the Brunner with a pitch problem. See, I adjusted it on the Citation 10 as well. I'll be breaking that out here in the future, doing some flights with it, because it handles so much better now too. The CRJ is really, really out of the world now. Of course, the 737. I did run the Airbus just to check frame rates, and just running that versus PMDG or this, you drop a couple frames, nothing too crazy. It all stayed smooth, but I wasn't hitting 49, 50. I was more like 38-ish, occasionally 40 up at altitude. Mainly flying around Tulsa there with that scenery. It didn't seem to be quite flyable, but as you can see, I'm doing real well here. So I run I-14900, 64 gigs of RAM on a 48-inch Super. Run the Pimax Crystal White. Brunner yoke and rudders. It's like finding a new simulator today. Been a long old chase. You know, you get these nice airplanes that are out there, and just the pitch issue is so pronounced. Just makes things, you know, not fun to fly, because it's such a tedious deal to keep them trimmed properly. And finally stumble across that. Find a solution. And that's the airport we departed from right there. Just keep flying around it. Decided to come in and land. I get up here like this and I don't want to let go. This is such a nice airplane. Now to bring it under control like this is just real exciting. Now that I know what to do, any aircraft out there, I can bring it on in, make them fun to fly. There's just so many of them to fly. I get into my routines where I'll stick with one aircraft for a while and then get into another. But my main ones, like I say, Phoenix, PMDG. This is one of them I really enjoy. Do love a real good business jet. Really waiting for the Flight FX Bombardier to come out. I believe it's the 350. I'll be flying that a lot. If it's anything like the 10 or the Vision Jet. And then when that thing kind of sticks his nose up in the air, just a little bit of pressure, bring her right where you want it. Of course, this has a vertical speed indicator that it naturally walks up and down on you. See that when you're sitting on the ground. It's a little misleading. But I liken that to just the air currents out here because I haven't had to trim it there at all. I just touch it, put it back where I want it, get back to a little more right aileron here. And if I have to pull back too much like this, I'll go ahead and nose up one click, magnified it. See, my tendency to pull back hard in a turn is quite pronounced now. A bad habit I picked up is to let just the airplane do what it wants, slightly nose down, then give the back pressure. A little bit of rudder pressure. Used to fight this so hard, now it's just a gentle, little easy amount of control. It's a fairly heavy pitch because they say the TBM's pretty hefty control forces. I got her a little light on the roll because they say it's quite a sporty rolling little aircraft. Of course, the rudder pedals, you know, they're not soft, they're firm. Cold temp over here. Let's warm up the cabin a little bit. Look away and she ditched off there a little bit. Right back. Love it. California sunset. That's all I wanted to comment on. I think I got most of the performance in the, believe it or not, the NVIDIA panel. The texture set to performance in there. That's what ChatGPT recommended. So I did, and I've got some pretty high settings here. I'll pop them up real quick. I'm running quality. Image sharpening about 130. That's all the sharpening I use. Might play around with that a little bit, but I'm good now. You can see. And through here, I got everything kind of turned up the way I like it. Makes for a nice atmosphere out there at different times of day. I like to get away with clouds up to high. I really like the looks of that better than medium for sure. And I like my shadows looking good. Once again, we're just out here doing some turns, trying to learn to fly the aircraft again. Getting a little time tonight. So I'll Sim Pilot's video recommended, through the control panel sensitivity going, instead of doing sensitivity, was talking about taking the amount of travel, which I tried that and it really wasn't what I was looking for, but this is. Say that nose is very well staying where I want it, like I would envision an aircraft to feel like. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of turbulence up here right now. Forced to go to the autopilot to maintain proper direction. Yeah, we're going to go to the right. What happens? A little bit of flare up. Once again, that's my heavy hand trying to fight the old aircraft. I just got to be a little bit gentler with it now. It's going to take us a lot of relearning. I got a lot of years of that in me. Oh, we broke 100 foot. Let's see, some of that could be done with null zone too. Give yourself I might go in there and adjust that later another day and see if that helps me to keep my turns a little more level. I'm not looking for it to fly on rails, but I dang sure like to be close to it, If I could just get the simulator to stay right like it is right now, I'd be very content. But new drivers, stuff like that, always changing things. I wonder if that's an anomaly down there, or looks like a dam of some sort. test when you look away. What does the airplane do? Looks like an anomaly. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this part of the world at all. Just an anomaly. Oh, that's a dam. Yeah. Well, if I had Say Intentions tour guide on, they'd tell me what that is. They really don't want to go land. I want to just fly around in circles for a while, feel the airplane. Wow, that's pretty cool looking down there. Well, that's my airport right there. Come this way. So earlier today I was flying around my home airport and I heard I was on the tower frequency there and I heard a Cessna calling for takeoff, runway 13, and I looked down there and I seen him and I heard the communications, and that was all AI, general aviation. Really impressive. I'm glad I went with Say Intentions from day one. Everything I'm looking for in ATC software. I've been a member 3 years or more now. Just about since the get-go. For a couple of months I kind of watched, see kind of what was going on with it, and I decided to give it a try, and then I went ahead and subscribed for 2 or 3 months and decided it was the way I wanted to go, so I just started buying yearly subscriptions, and then I went ahead and become one of the members just because I believed in them. I don't really do any testing or anything or reporting for them. I just want to show them my support and get access to their newest features before they go public, and just to see where it's at. I'm doing everything I like doing with the ATC software, better than I could have ever imagined. It's just like having real radios. Down there. There it is. Okay, let's bring her down, see if we can get in there. Bring it out of 850 mode. Beautiful sunset. Nice time to fly. Calm weather. Maybe you're back here. We'll try to hit the runway. San Diego. Gorgeous. Another little airfield right there. KMYF. No autopilot. That's cool. Really fluid. Slowing her up. Ready for that first notch of flaps. Take that power off, pull that nose up. We need 178. Trim the pressure off. Bring our separator on. There it is. Bring that first notch in. Then balloon up. Manage it. Look at that instrument panel. Wow, that's impressive. Oh man. That's why I like my shadows looking good. pressure off. Nice. We're 22 knot for that last flap. We're a little high. We'll back that power down. Go to idle now, no alarm. Flaps full. Manage the ballooning. Good approach speed. We're on the lights. Repulse it. Little bit of power. Knots. Right there. Yep, we're at the right airport. Oh, military aircraft. All right. Well, just some my thoughts and activities here. Chance to catch up, do a little bit of experimenting and playing around with some stuff I've been wanting to do for a little while. You know, just kind of see the simulator start degrading in performance and such, you know, and it's like, man, I haven't gone in and changed anything. And so I did the DDU driver uninstall and all that stuff. Clean cache, all the cache out, get a fresh start, you know. Knowing what this setup's capable of doing, with some relatively high settings. Of course, it's not ultra, but I don't think you're going to get away with ultra in VR unless you're running one of them high-end 5000 series cards, which I don't want to spend no money on that stuff. Not that much. F-18 Hornets. Got a Huey over there. Pretty cool. Had some fun with that in DCS. The thing about that is I like real world scenery like this. You got the whole world. The navigation part is just top notch compared to flying that on a combat map. It's not my cup of tea. Now, you know, if they had that kind of quality F-18s over here or something, you know, I would maybe do it if they had some kind of fighting in here, but only in this. All right, let's do some shutting down here. Let's see, I know somewhere there was an overhead light, if I can remember. It's that one. Turn that one on. Yeah, I think it's those. There's some up there, if I just remember where that switch is. There's that light. Might be it. Those two aren't lighting up. Not touchable. I'll have to hunt for that. Yeah, I got 75 degrees. Got that temp just about right. Where would that be? I hate pulling that switch. I hate that. All right, that'll be the end of the video. That's what I spent my day doing today. I'm going to try to find that light switch. Catch you later.